Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the breakfast show. I'm your host, Martin Wong. Now, very interesting, isn't it? Finally, the KLCI broke through that 1520, which we've been talking about. And of course, you knew that earlier when the green pentagon turned much earlier last week. Definitely, this is spurred by the so-called possible of a very good lineup from the newly Prime Minister Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri in here, and right now we do have foreign funds coming in by the lot, and definitely we have a new face look also at our website tradevsa.com, and a lot more coming in for you today on 31st of August. So stay watch for that 31st of August. There will be a new facelift on our website as well as something interesting coming up on SMARTRobie. That's right. Now let's take a look at what we have for you for our Wednesday, the 25th of August in here. Definitely today we are on trending stocks, which is usually, we assume you guys are pretty efficient and intermediate level. That's right. So in our intermediate level, definitely be using a host of tools that we have shared with you before. Definitely no other than SMARTRobie, as well as our plugin that you've seen right across the screen when I've showed you in here. Now let's take a look at what we have for you this morning in our news. Definitely a refresh on our trending stocks. We'll be looking at, and also a review on some of the trade stocks that we talked about last week and the week before. One has actually made a new high. That's right. All right. And also the news roundup this morning in here, no other than everyone is talking about the KLCI surge through and breaking the 1520 level, which is usually the very psychological important barrier that we see. Now let's take a look at this morning in here, and right now once it broke through that 1520, immediately it rifled through. Switching on to a wider chart here, you could see this stock shot straight to 1560, and this morning is up another 6 points. Of course, all the Bursa 30 stocks, which is your Top Glove, your Hata, and let me just try to read them up. Your Sam Darby previously, your Press Metal is also up. IOI Corp is up 2%. MSC is up, and also not to include some of the most active on your penny stocks that are, they are up too. The Noise is up, and your Nestle is up. And what we have, let's look at the big decliner. Only Genin Tech hit almost $27 in here. KSSM is down 3%. Now these previously has been great runner. That's right. Now you can see them in here. They are almost all jump up to $27 and $16. So now they're pulling back. Now what does it take? Now definitely right now, those of you who has been following the green pentagon would have benefited a great deal. You could see green pentagon came in very early, as early of 8th of August. Now it's 25th of August. You can see from the chart wise. Let me just show you here. 8th of August, the takeout of the first upthrust. You could see previously we have 3 upthrusts. The first one, second and third. And why finally this yesterday bar, the Tuesday bar on the 24th of August, finally took out the last high, and we are in new ground territory. Right now we are at 1560, and definitely for those of you, we are looking back to retest the old high. Having said that, I have said before previously, in the month of September and October usually will be the correction month, and right now the end of August, this month started to move up in here. So will we see a little bit of tapering off? Of course, definitely sure. Now this is moving up in terms of what foreign fund perceive our market to be a bit of a value in here, because if you look at later when I talk about US, all other markets are hitting new high. And also not to forget, yesterday the resurgency of the Hang Seng market continued to push up all the stocks up in here. We have recovery in the tech stocks on the Hang Seng market, and that's also giving a little bit of push for our market. Definitely following the green pentagon in blue trend zone, that would definitely benefited you tremendously. Now let's take a look at what we have next in our other headlines. Now other headlines is on Press Metal, which is one of the biggest climber this morning here, up 2.8%. and let's take a look at Press Metal. As you can see, Press Metal is up. Live prices in here up to $5 back again, and that certainly is a 1.6% in here. That is certainly bodes very well with many of our, let me just switch on to a wider chart here. So you can see right now is 514 right? 506 level in here, and this is also bolstered by the aluminum prices. Now, aluminum prices has done very well due to the last 6 months as the economy continue to recover in here. Definitely, let's take a look at the precious metal. As you can see from the chart wise, it's still well supported at $5 in here. We have a CNS, a confirmed no demand, and finally we broke through back to the what level, 508 level, which means it is ready to test back the old support, right? They really test back the old resistance at 510, and certainly that will be definitely good for this market, being one of the big component on the KLCI. Having said that, this market was ready to poise higher, and it did turn green pentagon on 4th of July. Good note in here, holding up on precious metal. Now, our next story will be on the plantation. We have seen plantation CPO prices continue to hit all-time high down. Do take note, I did talk about one of the commodity analysts saying that the high CPO prices could not sustain in the longer run. But having said that, the last 3 months or so, with the higher of CPO prices going up, we have seen a lot of the plantation sector, in this case IOI, reaping from the higher CPO prices, and as well as booking a better profits, or in this case earnings. Now, IOI fourth quarter jumped 50%, and this is doubling into 1.39 billion from previously 600 million, and revenue also jumped by 44% year on year to 11 billion compared to 7.8 billion a year, and this is also due to the better bottom line in FY20. Now let's take a look at IOI PG plantation, and you can see from here onwards what we have is, this is a very nice breakout for IOI, and you can see in here the nice base that we've seen. Let me just show you this one here, and you can see this is the $1.17 breaking up, and this is good. Now, a lot of people are still sleeping, as I said before, haven't waken up yet to the recent breakdown that breakup, you see, because by looking at the politics, most people just sort of not following. But what we have seen, the plantation sector has definitely moved up in here. TSH is another stock we will talk about in here, and you can see those of you who have gone early, who have done some bottom fishing, which we share with you, that trade set up early on, would have benefited from in here too. There's a lot of bottom fishing that can be done. Definitely those of you who have gone in early would have benefited in it, and continue to follow this channel in here. You can see finally the KLCI able to move up as many of these stocks continue to push upwards. Now let's move on to our next story that we have for you is TSH. TSH is another plantation player in here, really benefiting from the CPO prices. As you can see from here, TSH Resources net profit double up to 39 million for the second quarter of June 30th from previously 19 million. Subsequently, the earnings has gone up to 2.88 cents in here, again driven from the CPO higher prices. Now let's look at TSH. Okay, stock chart, stock comment in here, and you can see switching to a wider chart in very nice kind of setup chart. Haven't broke up yet. You can see previously IOI Corp and the others has broken up, and even in Singapore, I was talking about it on Monday, right? The EB5, the First Resources, and the Golden Agri all has moved up. Just that Malaysia is slow. Why is that? Because foreign fund hasn't come in yet. So they move the Singapore first, they go to the Singapore first, then they come to Malaysia. And by the time whatever left over in Malaysia, very sick only, you know. So I don't know how much they can push this up. Definitely as a choice of their first preference of foreign fund coming in hasn't been yet. But if we do see a lot of foreign fund coming, then you'll see this market continue to recover in here. So it's certainly chugging up nicely in here. Now, the next story we're going to go on to talk about is no other than AirAsia. That's right. Now AirAsia, let's take a look at AirAsia. The continued struggling of the opening up the economy, especially in ASEAN, which has been raged by Delta variant, has caused considerable downplay into AirAsia. Looking at AirAsia right now, you can see the stock chart still holding up at this base. just pitch it up nicely here around the 84 cent. I do think that this is a very nice support. I don't think it should go any bit lower. The 90 cents is going to retest. It's a lot of at stake currently for Tun Sri Tony Fernandes. He is going into a lot of element in here, going into so-called he's going into going into food delivery. He's going into what else? He's going into hotel, flight ticket, grocery shopping, e-commerce. Could that be certainly too much for one person to handle? And that's definitely one of the reason why I'm asking this, is because sometimes you don't see the CEO of Grab, Anthony Tan, going into airline business inside. Definitely for Tony Fernandes, this is a way that he wanted to refocus back his company AirAsia into other businesses. Even right now you could see he's not wearing his red hat anymore, right? AirAsia. So right now he'll probably be wearing something else. We yet to be seen what is that going to be in the coming months. Okay, now let's take a look at the other story that we have for you in our market right now. Definitely we are looking into the next story that we have. Alright, is going to be on the US side. That's right. Now US continue to make new high, as I said before last night, despite we saw the news of the Afghanistan withdrawal of the US troops and the US citizen plus their Afghan allies in here. But market has already priced in many of the news in here. As we can see, US Nasdaq hit new high and expected to close higher. They reacted very well to the Jackson Hole meeting, which I'll talk about on Monday in here. The interest rate will continue to stay low, even though the bond buying has been tapered down a bit in here. But what's more important is the House US Congress has passed a 3.5 trillion budget framework to move ahead with the infrastructure, which means they have already budget in their accounts, so they do not know what they're going to be spending it, but this will show you going forward they have a lot of money to throw in, and that's what the market's going higher. So all in is all market is pushing up Nasdaq, Dow Jones, and S&P 500 to be higher, and that's a lot of opportunity. As those of you who came into our masterclass earlier on, we have shown you there are a lot of opportunity in here. Definitely Malaysia is coming back right now, just broke through yesterday and today we're seeing, but Nasdaq has been roaring up for many months and continue to even close higher right now in here. There's still many uncertainty with our Malaysian, depending on the roundup that we see. Now a relook into the S&P 500 right now. You can see S&P 500 on the Robie chart. We could see in here, and let's look at news, switching to a wider chart here. So you can see the S&P 500 on the right hand side continue to hit new high as vaccine continue to roll out, and investors are focused on next. Definitely the tech stocks, as we said before, but a relook into the Apple stocks, which have turned green pentagon somewhere in July. This market has certainly moved up a fair bit, and you can see Apple in here. Apple stock losses wow factor without Steve Jobs, and pretty much what the story talks about in here, without Steve Jobs, even Tim Cook running and helming the Apple, the stocks have done pretty well. And if you look at Apple, AAPL, and you can see this stock here, Apple, has done very well going forward. Okay, let me just bring up this chart here, and you can see right now it's building a nice base, looking for the next push up in here. Will it hit below to 190 US dollar? We talk about the base when we first started back in the range of $126 in here. Right now it's continuing to go up, and like it or not, many of us fail to get in early. Partly it's not because of not able to follow it, it's just that not having the right skill. Getting the right skill, getting the right tools is important too, and once you have a system in mind, then you're able to do so much better by following some of the news that we talk about, when to buy and when to sell. Definitely the green pentagon would be a way for you to follow that. So let's look into the other market that we have for you in is the Singapore market. Now the Singapore market, one of the broker take from Maybank KE Kim Eng in Singapore, saying that no doubt the technology chip stocks has continued to run up, but there is a chip shortage. The benefit seems to favor, continue to favor the semiconductors that they're not recommending people to switch on. But having said that, the economy are reopening, and in the stage 2 share, or what we call trending stocks for SGX, there is a very nice stocks in here is Yangzijiang. Okay, Yangzijiang, that's right, Yangzijiang Shipbuilder ES8, and you can see BS8 in here. Switching to a wider chart, and definitely the market has definitely moved much higher from here. And you can see again, similar to what we've seen in our local market, since Green Pentagon give it a little bit more room, the market seems to bring out. It will take a bit of time, about 1 month. I'm going to share with you another case study of one of the stocks that we picked earlier on the 21st of July. Same thing. To achieve the market to go higher, you need to allow room for this market. And more importantly, you could see right here, the BS8 in this case did not breach through the ATR stop loss, and definitely holding this stock and breaking higher would definitely fit you well. All right, so that is something that to share with you this morning in here on some of the stocks that are really moving up. And if you are having stocks that are stuck in there, maybe it's about time for you to do something. Now, definitely looking at the overall leaderboard market for our intermediate trade idea, since we're going back to last May. The one that very notable is big, 63%, 21st of July, JHM 19%, Penta 7%, Hector 20% on 14th of July. So no doubt we are still able to pick some winners in here, and definitely we want to look at some of the trade idea that we did last week. GCB, IOI Corp, and let's take a look at one of the stock which we talked about, GCB, last week. And you can see this is GCB here. Okay, and we were looking at the weekly direction turning green pentagon. We drew this actually last week, right? So let's take a look at where it is this morning here on GCB. Okay, you can see eye to eye, the market is holding up, right? This was what we had when we first drew this. The market came back down, and we said something, right? We said that you need to stay above the gray line here, the number 3, okay? So 317 is a resistance, which is up here in here. So this one is moving, chucking on very nicely. You could see even yesterday we have a spring bar and the earnings came up. So again, another play, just like the Singapore SGX, the BS6, this one is also working on the economic recovery, all right? So take note about that one too. So this is going to be good, and chugging on along nicely, right? All right, people. Okay, and the other one is IOI Corp, which I'm going to show you, IOI Corp. Okay, IOI Corp, which we talk about this stock on when? IOI Corp, this was on the 18th of August. So you can see 18th of August was somewhere around here, right? 18th of August. The market did pull back, but of course, yesterday we saw that big move, isn't it? So the foreign funds are coming in here. And what I like about this, the volume is not climatic. Usually when you see this VSI, now do take note, a subscription to our plugin will enable for you to turn on all our VSI in here, and we haven't seen any VSI yet. So this tells you this market can go higher. Of course, this is available on our plugin. Do subscribe to it. You have a chance in here, and that will definitely help you a fair bit. All right, so IOI Corp and big was we talked about big on the 27th of July. The 21st of July. That's right, 21st of July. So on this one, again, take out all the upthrust. You can see, right, this market in here, switching to a 1 hour chart. At that time when we were talking, were about, let's say 11 o'clock, okay, around here. And we pull that up, that's about 64% return. You could see, right, this market starting to shoot up, right? What do they do? Quick one, you can turn on to symbol information in here, construction material. That's right, construction material. And definitely, you know, this one has a little bit element of smart money that it is able to go up, and right now it's just ranging in take some profit. You have not done so, but it does looks very good. We have a lot of COC in there. Maybe you can make another move, but do take some profit before it goes back down in here. All right, so this is what we have, and the other stocks is INSAS, which is still continue to go higher. And this was a trade that we talked about it on the 11th of August. You can see 11th of August or somewhere around here. Yeah, on the upthrust, market pullback very gently, making up a new move in here. And again, take note, there isn't any climatic volume. So this means this trend is likely to go higher, and that's how you want to know that, right? You don't want to see too much climatic volume in here, something that you want to study more in our further classes in here, which we're going to share with you also. Right, let's take a look at the next for this week. Definitely the immediate trade ideas are 25th of August. For the episode 109 is DSonic and MYEG. All right, let's look at MYEG in here, and this is the market that we see in here. All right, so let me make this a bit smaller. So we're going to do a immediate trading plan. All right, and bring it up. Okay, and let's take a look at our weekly chart. Now remember, on immediate trending idea, right, we are buying in stage 2 shares. Okay, that's the difference. So if you're a beginner, stick to the Pentagon because you get a bit more room for it to move up. Now MYEG, you can see here started to break up, and let's switch to a weekly chart. Now weekly chart, he has done a bit of recovery, banging on at 162, going back to here. Market recover and hit ATR stop loss, okay, on weekly basis. At what price is this? 168. And not, or haven't turned green Pentagon yet, okay. So that's what we've seen here. Indication of SMARTRobie, switch back to daily chart. Yep, it did turn green Pentagon on 11th of August. Turn on 11th of August. So what are the important price level in here? We got one on the, this is $2. And when was that? That was on the 28th of May. So looks like it's going to retest back. Okay, look like it will retest back 2 ringgit soon. So next week we will come back, take a look to see whether it can break out, or will the 2 ringgit be the resistance. Why can the market move higher? We have volume coming in. Okay, definitely earnings also coming in soon. I think earnings, okay, volume and earnings is coming in soon. Okay, low support here, we're talking about 154, and high resistance, definitely the old high, it's somewhere around this bar here. Okay, let me just move this a bit. Yep, this is the old high. That was also earning 3rd of March, and now you have 2 earnings already ahead. This was on 3rd of March and it was at 227. Now remember, every time when the earnings comes up, this fella sell, so you have to take note of this thing, right? If you don't like this kind of shares, it's okay, you don't. And the stock did trend for like 2 months, 1.5 months to 2 months, okay? One and a half months. All right, this is a very simple immediate trade idea for our MYEG. So those are the things you want to look out for. So if they violate it, then you might want to take evasive action to prevent further stocks from going down. Something that you want to do, and will definitely help you a lot more on this one. Okay, so we done those for MYEG in here. Definitely this week of the market has definitely rebounded. You could see one of the trade idea that we did earlier hit about 60% return, and that's something very, very interesting to see that Pentagon does help many of our members out there to use it in here. Now let's move on to our next segment. Is definitely on the update of our Trade VSA SMARTRobie fixed rule portfolio. We are still up 8%. No doubt the KLCI has recovered in here, and we are already in one of our trades in here. Yeah. So right now your portfolio should be coming back, right, recovering in here, but it should stay positive. We have another 4 more months to go. So if you are in negative territory in your portfolio, maybe something you should do something about it, right? And don't end another year of negative territory like what you had in year 2020. It's very important, as I said before, going time and time again, you should have a positive return every year in and out. If not, check out our plugin if it can help you, our intraday start, as well as our stock screener that we have in store for you. All right. Okay, let's look at our hot sector for today, and the KLCI in here, as you can look on, switching to a wider chart. Of course, it is no surprises. Many of you would have known it is definitely plantation. All right. Of course, you hit plantation stocks in here. Right, you can see a whole list of plantation stocks and all the relevant shares. You can take a look. Patu Kawan is green, bullish, bullish. But you see all the green is there, right? Previously, we were talking about technology. This is what we call sector rotation. For those of you who done well, able be fast enough, rotate out from technology, rotate back to this, you will benefit from SMARTRobie sector rotation in here. All right, let's move on to our next segment in here. Is on our QR code. Those of you who want to follow us and our tutorial, especially if you're first time, check out our tutorial in here for SOS, SOW, and for many of the volume spread analysis framework that we're using. Of course, tonight, don't forget to join me tonight on the change of politics and the impact of KLSE. We will be reviewing how the new cabinet lineup, which is going to be coming up very, very soon, with our new 9th Prime Minister, Datuk Sri Ismail Sabri, the impact to our KLCI, and also the counters that we talk about, which seems to be related to UMNO. So make sure you join me tonight at 9:30. We'll be talking about this in here. And don't forget, on the following week, Saturday next week, we'll be doing our first free Zoom session, technical analysis for Trade VSA, for technical analysis for TradingView for beginners. As you know, TradingView is a free software, you can use it, so definitely we will share with you some of the analysis that you could use, will definitely help you. That will be on the 4th of September, and this is a free Zoom workshop. The QR code is available on the comment section in here as well. This is a part 1. The part 2 will be the following week on fundamentals, so make sure you join me on this one in here. And don't forget, our October 2021 intake is on the way, and registration is available in here. Okay, so right now we are at the segment where we'll be looking at a couple of stocks. For those of you who have, definitely, if you are our masterclass members, just state it. If you're on the public, just let me know your profession in here, and I'll be happy to look at your stocks and see whether it is worthwhile to hold on or not. And okay, so let me know your profession also, if you are from the public. Okay, okay, we have Young here. I think he's one of our member on DNext. So let's bring this in here. DNext is not going anywhere. Unfortunately, is very close to the support in here. Again, going back to whether you're trading or not, DNext has this run. As I said before, these are all related to the tech stocks. So now the tech stocks are quiet. This one is likely to move sideways for the time being. Okay, Young. So remember, Young, I think you're one or you're okay. So if you are a businessman, you know, right? If your stock not doing well, what do? Move to a better stock that's doing well. Definitely a plantation for that one. Okay. It's important that you follow some of these rules. And again, go back to your portfolio. How well has it been doing? I hope you have done better than most people in here, at least being in the positive area. If not, do something about it. Okay. Now let's take a look at the others. Stocks that we have. We have Andy here, JHM, Care Plus. Okay, James, Care Plus. Now Care Plus apparently is one of the cheaper, what we call rubber glove stock. The rubber glove are moving back. Okay, you can see all your top gloves are moving up nicely in here. So Care Plus would have to wait first. Your Hata move first, your Kosan move first, then only your Care Plus. So you need to wait first. Unfortunately, that's how it is. But you can see there will be a very strong recovery on the rubber sectors. That's for sure. You can see a double bottom in here, and this is definitely a bottom fishing trades. For our masterclass members, you know how to trade this, right? You can see in here, eventually it's going to recover back a fair bit of amount in here. I can see it in the charts inside, so make sure you do that. Okay, we have this Sabao here, FP Group. Now FP Group, right or not, you broke through the ATR stop loss in here. There is a tech sector sell-off, and that's also correspond to it. I think it's also important if you are trading or you're investing a long time. Again, going back to what I've talked about in the masterclass, having those two strategies will definitely help out. If you're trading, get out. You hit the ATR stop loss. Okay, that's how simple it is. Now we have Andy here, JHM again. All these are consolidating, broke through the ATR stop loss in here. You can see right now, would we see a recovery? Yes, I would think so for some of these stocks. Again, if you are trading, this is definitely broke through the ATR stop loss. You need to exit. Okay, important to stay on when the market has a green pentagon, but in this case JHM seems to be pulling back, and that is also due to the pullback that we've seen on the tech stocks in here. The tech stocks are still moving in the US side. That's why we talk about moving some of your portfolio to the US side. It will help a bit in here. Okay, we have Opcon didn't touch the ATR stop loss. You can see a lot of resistance here at 56 cents. Profit taking in here. This thing will move sideways. You can see volume definitely has mellowed down a bit, but it will take a while first before this thing really to move up in here. Watch out for those low volume in here, but if it doesn't break through the ATR stop loss, you want to hold on. If you have bought it somewhere around here at 45 cents following the green pentagon, you'll be fine. But if you bought it somewhere or somewhere around here 48 cents, you'll still be fine. But unfortunately, if you bought it somewhere around here, that is very unfortunate because you buy at the high, not reading the price right. Okay, and that's something that you're all right. Okay, we have Jessica retired, Inari here. Now Inari didn't hit the ATR stop loss. Market still holding up. Now this is also taking a trend from the Apple share. Again, if you're long term, right, then stay with it. If you're short term, then you just watch out for the ATR stop loss in here. Okay, have a plan, and if you do have a plan, and try not to buy at new high, always buy at the first appearance of the green pentagon. You'll be much better off. Like if you bought it around here 323, let's say bought at the opening here, and you went up as high as 14%. So but right now I think it'll probably be less than that. So make sure you don't want to buy high. Okay, we have Lahi HS Hap Sing Plantation. Yeah, this was a nice well, if you look at it, the trade was somewhere around here, green pentagon. You could have bought it here and broke through about 9% return. And I said before, this is going to be a take from more foreign funds buying in. You're going to be retesting back of the old high. Alright, so if there is no more stock to be reviewed, thank you for coming today, and definitely don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube for all our favorite material that we'll be posting in our YouTube, including the one that many of you will be coming is our change in politics and the impact to KLSE. And of course, don't forget to also subscribe to our Telegram chat room and do give us on a Google review. If not, I'll see you tonight. Okay, bye bye.